Hey folks, we're back for another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about a film that will be available on Shudder as a Shudder original, and this film is entitled Random Acts of Violence. It is available August 20, again, exclusively on Shudder. Now, this film is directed, written, and stars Baruchel, as well as Jordana Brewster, who you know from the Fast franchise, as well as Jesse Williams from Grey's Anatomy and some other things. But nonetheless, this film is about a comic book creator, Todd, his wife, and his assistant and best friend as they all embark on a road trip from Toronto, Canada to New York Comic Con, which is in New York City, obviously, because Todd is looking for motivation here. Todd is on the last edition of his comic, and he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to do the character justice. So there's no other better way than actually going down the route of who the character is inspired by. So before I get to that, while they're on this road trip, all tons of bad things start to happen and people are getting killed. And he's trying to figure out, is it some lunatic fan that is channeling their inner SLASHERMAN, which is the name of his comic and the character, and are they actually using his comics as motivation itself? So yes, this SLASHERMAN is inspired by the I-90 murderer. So they take the route of I-90 to kind of rechannel and kind of, get some motivation and find some aesthetics that may lock Todd back into that mindset to go, to give SLASHERMAN the ending that he feels is fitting, because it's one of the most well-known and famous rated R comic book. So he wants to go out right. He wants to do it in the right style. So with that being said, this movie has like a lot that's kind of going on here. I'm just going to kind of go over some of my thoughts with it. Number one, the killing here is like relentless. There's like a ton of gore that goes on here. This film also uses some really cool comic book animated style visuals throughout the film, which I was really digging. They were pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of like Into the Spider-Verse style. This film also, I will say, is for people who are like fascinated with death and mutilation, because it's very disturbing, and it's really not for everybody, to be honest. For the ones who are really like to stay away from that type of stuff, are really like soft-hearted when it comes to these things. This film is definitely not for you. And also too, like, I feel like this film really takes a while for it to get going. It's not really until the third act where like the action, the gore, the killing, everything just really vamps up. It gets really messy and really bloody. With that being said too, I feel like also with this film, there's not like a ton of acting, not much storytelling, not much character development, and to be honest, not much direction here. But I would say with a title, Random Acts of Violence, maybe it's fitting. Maybe that's, really, because that's really what it is. But nonetheless, there's some good dialogue, especially funny dialogue, really well suited for a road trip. So I definitely can get behind that. But yeah, I mean, again, it comes out August 20th on Shudder. It definitely has some well-known, credible names attached to this film. And if you are a true diehard horror fan, I feel like it does tap into some old school really conventions here with it, so you'll enjoy that. But again, I gotta say, like, if you are a person who just really can't muster up too much gore and blood, then this may not be for you, because it gets really, really relentlessly bloody, messy, and gory. So, but yes, check out Acts of Violence. Definitely come back in the comments and let me know what you think, and until the next review, catch you then.